All right, we're recording. So I know a number of you have Success Club points already. Awesome. Keep pushing. Who has $20 off codes still? You have to say it. Good. Use them. Use them. Or MBF. And everybody's doing a great job talking about MBF. Here's what I'd recommend. I don't know if you've noticed what I'm doing. I talk about the moves and how they're so different than anything I've ever done. Like, tie it in that way instead of just saying, and Tim will probably talk about this, have a story with your posts more so than just like a selfie or a recording. Like, say something about it, how it made you feel, or was it hard, or you're emotional during it, or whatever it is, because that's how people connect. They can be like, oh, she can work out and I can't. But if you tie the story, that's how they're going to get to see it. And like Sam does a great job of talking about her her transformations along the way, right? She may not be where she wants to be yet, but every week or two, she's sharing something. So keep that in mind. All right. There's some feedback. I don't know if it's me. But let me hand it over to Tim. If my screen goes black, I'm here. I promise. And take it away, Tim.
So let me figure.
Can you share?
Can you enable screen sharing on my part, please?
La la la.
And then I will get my end set up.
How can I should have done this before. I should have made you. You can't share from there?
No, it says
make host. Let me see if I can make you the host. Now, do you have it?
There it is. So
yeah, go into advanced. Well, here you could just click screen share. And all participants.
So did you switch to me as the host?
Yeah.
There you
go. Oh, okay. Yeah. So. Oh wait.
First time
Can you see my? Can you see?
Yeah, we can see it.
Don't judge my. Oh, hold on. HIPAA violation. Sorry. Nobody saw those client names. Sorry.
Nope.
All right, give me a second because I'm actually some of the things that I'm going to tell you about with Instagram, you can only do it from your phone, and you can't do it from a computer. So, give me a second. I actually need to share my phone, and I figured it out. So just give me a hot second. Sorry.
Ooh, then will you post how you do that so I know for future things too?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, you'll actually see it live right here.
Okay.
So time player, and then you have to have your phone like plugged in through a USB.
Well, does she have a Mac?
Or do you have a Mac?
No, but I'm getting one.
Okay.
That's my 2-star diamond treat to myself.
Ooh,
I'm working.
Hold on. It's kind of weird. So. Okay. So there's my in-laws and my family. So the main thing that I've kind of done is I've actually switched my account over to a business account. So I don't know if any of you have done that yourself, but when you switch over to a business account, it gives you access to things like insights to your posts, like what your followers are doing with your posts, whether they're saving them, they're sending them, and things like that. So it kind of gives you a little bit more insight of what types of posts are kind of more popular on your page and what is bringing in more attention from like for your followers. So one of the things that if people have questions, just jump in. No, maybe. So the one thing here is that I use is the story highlights. So if you notice there, I have my Om Nom Nom Beachbody Flex It workouts. So when you post on your story, you can add these actual story highlights, and they don't go away after 24 hours. So if people pull up your main page and they are seeing these highlights, they're able to see like your whole history of your posts. And I've had people that have responded to my story highlights and like DM'd me about like, oh, that workout looks awesome. Or, you know, even just something like the meals that you make look delicious, and that's awesome. So it's a way for people to see more of your stuff if they don't catch it within that 24 hours. So with like this, you see it's 21 weeks ago. So this was pretty much all of my stuff, and you can go back and add things to it. But basically, like, it's just a way for people to literally just kind of see you, like use the story highlights to tell them more about you without putting it directly on your page. So for me, I'm like, we're loving our every plate, so we're putting that on there. Beachbody, like flexes, the actual workouts that I'm doing, and then just more things about me. And like I'm part of the Quest squad, so I post on there about Quest stuff. But if people look through this and they pull up like Beachbody, pretty much any time that I post about Beachbody on my story, I add it to my highlights. So it's just subtle things like the recovery, the different smoothies. So within here, it just gives people more views of your different types of things within Beachbody. And then from here, technically, like that post, I'm sorry for my thirsty posts. It's just, it is what it is. But clearly here, Beachbody and clearly Beachbody and Muscle Burns Fat are on here, so people still technically can then come in and pull you in to more Beachbody stuff. The workouts, if I post workouts on my story, I add them on here. And I try not to do too many, I start reading the Turkish Get Up. Yeah, this is the bitch. So I try not to post too many of the workouts on my story, especially like longer ones, because I've been told people are like, thanks for posting your workouts, I'm now doing these at home. And so that kind of like defeats the purpose. So like right here, people could be like, oh, this is a great move for me to do, but it still shows something different and unique. So, and then in here, I'm just posting things about me. I like to drink, so be it. I like munchkins. And then like people still can technically respond and things like that. So it's showing that like, sure, I'm this Beachbody coach and I have pretty green eyes, but I also like Scotch, you know? So like literally someone could respond and be like, oh, I love Scotch. And boom, I'm talking to someone about Scotch, and I've now got someone's attention on something that's not Beachbody, but you can kind of just build a connection that way. So the highlights definitely help with being able to see more of your stuff that's not on your actual like your page. So you can add whatever you want on there, and I don't know how many you can add, but whenever you add something new, it pulls it up to be the first one there. So like the food one, I just posted my dinner from tonight, and before that it was Beachbody. So it's going to pull the most recent thing up, and then clearly Quest was the pretty much last thing that I posted in there. So this is a good way to get people to see more about you with that. So I don't know if this is here, pull up your Instagram or anybody that might have it. I don't know if it's a business only.
I switched one. It's not.
It's not?
No,
Highlights. Yeah, highlights can be any account.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so take advantage of the highlights. Put a variety of things on there. Don't just put Beachbody. Like, I mean, it's clearly our focus is Beachbody, but if all you're doing is Beachbody, like people aren't going to get to know you. And this has been a fun way that I found that people have started to kind of get to know me and the things that I like, and that I'm a real person outside of just being a Beachbody robot.
Yeah,
Right,
thanks
and
to you, I almost bought some Reese's today.
Yeah, see? Exactly. But instead, make a chocolate peanut butter Shakeology and only
Right,
have one Reese's.
Well, and think about this, guys. This is your brand. Like if Beachbody were to go away, what would your brand say about you when people still follow you, right? You have family, you have things, Scotch, it's like all these things are your brand. So it's not just workouts. So perfect.
Right. And people like that. Like it just shows more, and I feel like people then like almost trust you more. And a lot of the times I feel like some of the people that I've gotten to sign up from Beachbody, it was triggered by literally someone being like, your meals look delicious, or that was a great idea to make a brown sugar simple syrup for your cocktail. And so that's a good way to like make your own brands outside of Beachbody, but clearly the focus is Beachbody in general. With tagging, I personally tag everything. So if you are posting something on there, don't just tag Beachbody, Megan Davies Fitness, and Muscle Burns Fat. So for my most recent post that I put up today, I tagged Beachbody, Spartan, Junk Brands, Megan Davies, Bowflex, Spartan Race, and Muscle Burns Fat. All of those things are in my picture. And I've actually ended up getting, so like Bowflex, they've liked my stuff. And so if random brands like your things that you are tagging in there, you'll come up more. So let me see if this will work. So for example, oh wait, I'm on my computer. Gotta use my phone. So when you pull up the website, over here to that little portrait is like tagged photos. I don't know if mine's gonna show up there, but if you then come to their profile and if you tag them on here, see right there, there's my picture. So if someone's just being like, are these Bowflex weights worth it because they're super expensive? Here's a girl working out and let me just look at that. But then if you're scrolling, now that you've got your picture and your post on their main page. So that's another really good tool, is like literally tag, like Apple Watch. I'm wearing an Apple Watch. The Bowflex weights are on the floor, the headbands, whatever it may be. If I'm wearing Under Armour and it's visible, I'll tag Under Armour in there. That's another way that you can also kind of, some of the brands do ambassadorships, which then give you even more exposure. So if they're kind of seeing that this person is constantly tagging me because they're wearing my headbands or they're constantly using our weights, that could also be a way to get yourself exposed out there more. So like pretty much if other people are searching on their pages, yours will eventually come up on there too. So with posting on your story, I find that people pay attention to your stories sometimes a little bit more than your actual posts, because when I'm personally like looking through my stuff up here, I like scroll through and I just like pick which stories I want to, oh look, there's Krista.
Hey.
Sorry, one of the first ones that came up, but like you're gonna look to see who catches your attention on here and pull up their thing. But to be honest, I'm not gonna sit there and scroll through my page to look for things. But then if like the way that I've seen a lot of us do, the like new post alert on your story, that pulls them then to your page and then might get them to look more. But I tend to try to use my stories more than actual posts. That's my personal preference. You can do whichever one you feel most comfortable with. With hashtags, I use hashtags, but I find that they're hit or miss. And sometimes I've seen on my insights, which I'll go over in a second, I may only get like 2 basically reaches to other accounts from like a hashtag. So I have found that you don't want to use common hashtags. So like for the one I just did today, so I did like happy tears, emotional post, like fit dads. So the thing is with the fit dad singular, there's a lot more posts that say fit dad over fit dads. So if you think about it, if you're using hashtags that have 8.9 million hashtags or posts with that hashtag, but then you use a very similar one that has 250,000, the odds of your post being seen on a hashtag with 250,000 posts are going to be higher than the millions. So let's see if I can show an example. So like fit dads there, 283,000 posts. So, but then if I'm looking for broccoli florets, there you go. So, oh, hey, Marcy. So if you look at fit dad, wait, hashtag fit dad. There's 2 million posts of fit dad. So the odds of someone seeing my posts on fit dads will probably be higher, especially because I'm not one of these like thousands and thousands of followers and you have so many people pulling up your thing. So use hashtags that are popular, but not the most popular. I've definitely found that helps with that. And use hashtags in your stories because more people are going to see stories over posts. So you can do both. Like if you end up doing, you can use similar hashtags in your actual posts and on your story. It doesn't hurt to double up, but definitely use them in your story because I personally feel like I get more views on my story than my actual reactions on my posts. Within posting on your story, also keep your videos, I would say, brief. It might just be my own personal thing, but like if there's a super long video that goes on, I tend to like trail off and I stop and I'm not going to watch as much of it. So I try to keep my videos if I do like workout videos or like the exercise videos, then I tend to do mostly about 20 seconds for each like move. And I'll actually edit my video and just do about 20 seconds or so. And maybe even only 2 to 3 reps of what the move is that I'm showing. Because to be honest, like you don't need to show all 15 reps. Like no one needs to watch 15 reps. So I find that also there's more engagement if I keep it short. But if you want to post like a long, let's say like literally a 30-minute workout, you can do the full thing and then it's Instagram TV, which is basically just almost like posting like a YouTube type of video, and it's a long video, but it's just kind of up to whatever you prefer. But I try to keep mine 20 to 30 seconds at max. But yeah, I did mention that like just be careful because people then will be like, oh great, thanks for the workout, I'm going to go do this tomorrow. That's completely not the point.
They make their own at-home workouts using your videos.
So another trick that I've started recently doing is adding my location. So me personally, I keep my account very private in regards to like, I don't share my family, I don't share my kids that much, but it's just mostly because I've had a lot of creepy people come into my DM and say really nasty, vulgar things to me, and I just don't want them or need them seeing my kids. So I'm not going to put Forest Hill, Maryland, because that's like the town I live in, but instead I'm going to tag the county that I live in. Because similar to using hashtags, if you pull up Harford County, Maryland, now you have all of these slutty women. Sorry, anybody that might be on there, but like,
yikes, those are all from Harford County?
Yeah, we're a bunch of floozies here.
There's not much to do there, right?
Maybe I'll change my use of Harford County, but yeah, right. But like technically there's a chance that my post could come on here if someone's just scrolling through, or you can do, I think I've mixed it up a little bit in regards to, I think I did a Maryland somewhere once I started adding. Yeah, Maryland. So, or you can just go way broad and just do this, which has a lot more girls.
Oh my gosh.
But in my defense, if you catch a guy on here, it's going to catch your attention. So I apologize, ladies. But so start using your location too. Whatever you're comfortable with in regards to how specific you're posting, but just be aware of clearly everybody's able to see where you're posting this.
I do that when I travel just to get new people looking at it.
Absolutely. So I, within like the DMs and using Instagram, you're able to split it into, I think like general, or I don't know, there's another,
Primary and general.
yeah, primary and general. So I end up using the general tab for all of my Beachbody stuff. So if I just like strike a conversation with somebody or vice versa, and things are kind of chatting and I'm like, they're hitting it hard at the gym and there's no intentions of Beachbody, then I'll just kind of leave it in the primary tab. But if it's a prospect of a Beachbody person that I feel like I could pull in, I switch them over to the general tab. And that way it's easier for me to see kind of like who I need to focus on or follow up with. Also my customers and my team members that I have that are from Instagram, I also have them on my actual, in the other category, just to make it easier to follow up with them rather than scrolling through your DMs and trying to find their names. So take advantage of being able to split into different categories, whichever one you prefer, the primary or the general. It doesn't really matter with that. Also with hashtags, I try to only do like 10 to 12, because if you load up your page with hashtags, it's just kind of annoying and people are going to stop seeing it. So that's just my personal preference. Like I said, this is what I'm kind of finding success with in general. So try to keep it with the 10 to 12. Our computer?
I don't know.
Sorry, it's echoing on our part. You also can hide your hashtags on your story. So
I'm hearing that feedback here too, Sam.
How are you?
what is it?
Chris is hearing some feedback. too.
All right. So with hiding hashtags, if you think about the use of hashtags, it's for people to search those hashtags and then find you. You don't necessarily need to have your hashtags visible, because if I'm posting my hashtags and someone then follows that hashtag, that's pulling them away from your page. That's putting them somewhere else to look at all the other hashtags or all the other posts that have been used. So for example, with this one, I have all of my hashtags hidden underneath of my caption there about like even Beachbody coaches need an extra push. So it pulls people to look at my post if it comes up in that feed of the hashtags. But the way I look at it, I don't want to be pulling people away from my page by having them follow the hashtags that I'm putting in there. So same thing with like mentions. Like I've also mentioned the same people that I put in the post on here, because sometimes even other people are looking for the stories that have those mentions of those people versus the actual posts. So then behind my actual picture is where I have all the mentions. So I tend to try to keep my stories as clutter-free as I can of hashtags and mentions, unless I want them to go to that person. So it might be good sometimes to throw out the MBF mention, because then they can pull up their page and see more about it that's outside of what you're posting. So I personally tend to kind of hide my hashtags and only reveal and mention the people that I would want them to go away from my page to go look at. So you don't want to be pulling them away from your stuff. Shout outs are another really good thing. So if I find fitness accounts that I feel like have a good following of people, then I might talk to them and strike up a conversation, and eventually that can lead to, hey, like, I love your stuff. I'm looking for more like genuine people that are doing home workouts themselves, and not these personal trainers in the gyms and things like that. And like, hey, would it be cool to do a shout out exchange? And that's how I've gotten a handful of followers, and then people clearly now seeing my content. So even if you don't get any followers from it or any engagement, people are now still seeing your page. So it's just as simple, you just share their post to your story and just say like, hey, this is a great person I just started following, real down to earth, good stuff, and looking for motivation, then check out their page. Because clearly, you scratch, or I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And now I've got my post on a story of somebody that has 2,000 followers, of people that I don't follow, that don't follow me. And it's pulling more people in for me. And the more followers you get, the more opportunities for new engagement that you can get. So I like to do the shout outs, even if they don't get anything from it, I don't get anything from it. Hey, now you still kind of have a new friend that you can still strike up a conversation with, or get another shout out later on and things like that. So shout outs have definitely helped me with kind of getting my stuff out there more. There's also, this is not as helpful, but I've actually, what? Jeanette's laughing at me.
It's just, you're very funny, but this isn't very helpful, but
it's worth it sometimes. So there's also engagement groups that you can find. They're called like engagement pods. And it's literally for the purpose of getting followers and exchanging followers. And it's basically like every time you post, you put a link in this engagement group, and then all the people in that group then go like your things. But I've gotten some followers out of it, but it's also a really popular thing for like people in different countries, and it's kind of getting people that aren't even available to have Beachbody out there. It takes a lot of time, because then you have to go and set, and let's say like the 10 posts before yours, before you can post your link to your page or your post. So it's time consuming. I'll be honest, if you're interested in it, or it's something that could be fun for you, I will talk to you more one-on-one about it. But I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of work and might not be worth it. But that's something I've done in the past too. I'm not part of any groups right now, but that was how I've connected with a few other people as well. I've heard, I believe Marcy and Shannon talk about this, but when you find a new person, what I tend to do is I will go and like 3 to 4 of their things before I really follow them. That way it then pulls them to your page, and it will have them look at your stuff, and then they either tend to follow you or they don't. It actually just happened to me earlier, and I'm going to kind of show you an example. So this guy here, Garage Gym Fit, I actually connected with him, and he gave a shout out, I gave a shout out, and he does a lot of home stuff. So his most recent post here, I commented on his thing, just like, hey, looking great, good pool day, man. And then he responds, whatever. So then I see this guy come in next, Cam Fitness 17, and clearly he's liked some of my things, started following me, and I pull up his profile to see kind of where he found me. And you go and you can look to see like followed by blank. And then if you then come in here, I noticed Garage Gym Fit is one of his followers. So he saw me comment on his page. That brought him to my page. He then liked some of my things, and now he is a follower of mine. So it basically is just like 3 to 4 of their things, see if that gets their attention. I'll be honest, sometimes I don't even read the stuff. I just kind of look at more of like the fitness things to kind of show them that like clearly I'm more like the fitness aspect of it. And if they come to your page and they start following you and then you jump into there, and whereas like this guy, it looks like he's working out at home. So for me, I'm like, so I haven't followed him back yet, but this could be a potential. But then if I pull up his profile and I see that he's got all these posts of him crushing it at the gym, I don't know if I'm really gonna necessarily follow him back. But you can even do that with other things of like the popular posts. Like if you search for a hashtag of healthy moms at home or just healthy moms, and you look at the ones that are the most popular, engage on those posts and just be like, oh, that was a great idea. It looks like a good recipe or just whatever, and just try to kind of get your name out there and to get people's attention that then will then pull them into your page. I'm trying to think of other, so let me go over the insights a little bit here. So with your insights, you can basically kind of get an overview of a weekly analysis of your posts. So within here, the past week, 948 accounts have been reached. And so if I even like pull this up here, you can see more about, so impressions, it's kind of confusing. I'm still trying to figure out what a reach versus an impression is. Like reaches, I think, is like how many times your page was like put on someone else's screen. And then this impressions, I think, is more of like how many times someone has looked at it or vice versa. I don't know, because
I feel like that could be if someone's reacted to it versus if someone's just looked at it, maybe.
yeah,
Like if you've reached them with by reaching them, they've seen your post, but if they react to it by liking it or commenting on it or whatever, that's what I think it means, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Well,
it's kind of confusing.
I was gonna say reach is the total number of people who see your content, right? Impression is the number of times it's displayed, no matter if someone sees it at all.
Okay.
So it's just out there. So your impressions are always generally going to be higher. Like in Google advertising in marketing world, it's always really high,
Okay.
but you want the reach is the number that you're looking for, because it's people that actually looked through it or, took some
Right.
time to interact with it.
Good to know, because it always confused me.
Mhm.
So
It's confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. But then you can technically kind of pull up your posts and see. So here's an example of like how hashtags can either help or not help. So my MBF post when I got my box. So if I click on the view insights here, so I only had 69 likes, but I had 788 on the reach. And if you look here, 420 were from hashtags. So that's insanely high and very odd, because just I don't really have a lot of hashtags that actually do anything. But for whatever reason, this post must have gotten posted somewhere in Muscle Burns Fat, clearly, because it's all basically Beachbody posts. I mean, hashtags.
Mhm.
But then like, here's another one that has a high engagement, but only 2 were from hashtags. So
Right.
I kind of feel like hashtags are like luck of the draw. Like here, I don't really know which one got it. Like fit dad, stay strong, fitness bloopers, because people think it's funny because I hit my head. But it's hard with hashtags. Yep, there it is. There's a head hit. So
Yeah, and they are hit or miss. And guys, like he said, your engagement is a better measure. You could have a page with 750 followers,
mhm.
but if you are highly engaging those 750 followers, then that's where your money is being made, not in the 20,000 likes, and only
Right.
2 people are engaging. So it's always about engagement.
Yeah, and even if you have to kind of spark some of that engagement, that helps. So I kind of feel like the rest of it, like I don't fully. It's more of like how I use Instagram for coaching and for pulling people in and my content. I don't know if you want me to go over that specifically. 'Cause, like,
How do you plan your content? Do you sit down and, like, I sit down at the beginning of the week and I'm like, here's some things I want to cover, and then I start thinking about posts. How do you create your content?
I am super impulsive, and
Mhm.
I'm more of just like, yes, Chris is agreeing very strongly. So I just kind of post whatever's happening. Like, I reached out because I feel like I was really turning into a Beachbody robot of like Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody.
Mhm.
Like, my page is boring. Look, it's literally all Beachbody. Like, I get it. I'm promoting Beachbody and things like that, but I didn't want. I started getting kind of like feedback of just like the same shit, different day, and that's where I posted like, what else do you guys want to see? Like, tell me. Like, I want to kind of give some of the control to my followers to pull that engagement, to get their attention again. And I had people say that they want to see more of like family Tim. And I was nervous to do that because of my creepy DMs and my thirsty followers. But then I ended up putting this post up. And I'm still protecting my kids because you can't see Lily and Hunter's in the stroller. But people liked this. This got a lot of attention back for me and kind of pulled some people back in. Like, you know, these are the posts I most enjoy. Yay for being a good dad. And that kind of like made me realize that maybe this guy's not enjoying my Beachbody stuff. And it's like, I need to try to post different things. But
Yeah.
it just really, like my post today, I cried at the end of my workout, and it is what it is. But I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of just show a little bit more of me, not just being, you know, the strong Beachbody coach that makes everything look easy. Like, it was hard. Jeanette pushed me through it, and she saw me like stopping and pushed, and people need to see that. They need to see that you are vulnerable, you are genuine, you are real, you are not this every workout is great and Beachbody is beautiful, it's perfect, but you also don't want to make it look like it's so hard that they can't do it. And I find, and people have liked when they look up to me as like this, you know, fitness person, but then they're like, it made me happy to know that literally you cried, because I cry sometimes too, and I just feel like I'm weak. And it's like, no, that's not weak. That's just you being real. And like, you know, I talked about my ankle being messed up, and because I'm drunk and I sprained my ankle when I passed out on the toilet. And people loved that, and that pulled more people in. So it's like, yes, I talked about Beachbody, but I also like talked about a stupid injury that I did. And I'm an ambassador for this clothing company, Ascend. So, you know, I kind of have to throw a couple other things in there, but I don't know.
Well, it's trial and error, right? And you
Yeah.
learned like fitness is not everything. And I've been working on a lot of my posts to be the same, more of vulnerability. And if you, Brene Brown is incredible. She has a thing on Netflix and her books are amazing. But it's all about being vulnerable, and you find courage in vulnerability. And guys, I know there's things you don't want to share outright on social, but letting people into a glimpse of what you are going through helps them see that you are human and you're not a fitness robot. And it's not, your whole life's not about weight. You could, if you've had significant weight loss, talk about maybe what caused the weight gain. There's trauma that we've all been through, and it's okay to talk about it in your own way. It's, you control the medium and you can say what you want. But letting people see that is what draws them in and keeps them. I had a friend of mine, she's been was a coach from the start with me, and she's like, have you been working on your posts, because they're a lot different and I really enjoy them now. So it's just digging deeper.
Right. So
and it's just keep going. Like, you'll mess up and your post will be bad, and it doesn't matter. Just move on to the next one. You know?
And I feel that even with like my stories, like, let me see if it's on here. I think it technically is. So here's my life in real quick. So, sorry, I swear I'm gonna get to it. But like, I kind of started talking to my like followers a little bit more, and like, I don't know if you can hear this. Does it work to share my sound?
No,
Yeah.
but I know what you're doing, and talking makes such a difference because that's
Yeah.
how they get to know you.
Oh,
And like with, like I was talking about impulsively buying a Nintendo Switch from eBay,
Yeah.
and then finding one at Target brand new, and me going on my way, and then like people responded to that. I got people that messaged me again that I haven't heard from in a while, and there you go, struck up another conversation. So they like to hear you talk about things that aren't just fitness, rather than being like, oh, today's workout was really good, I did a lot of new moves and blah blah blah. But instead, like, yeah, like I did something stupid because I bought a Nintendo Switch and now I have 2 Switches, and like, anybody want one? Like, hey, you know,
It
like,
really makes a big difference though. Like the other day, I follow this one lady, and she made a video about putting on her makeup for the day, which normally I guess she doesn't do that. Somehow I got sucked into watching this story for literally like 15 minutes, just watching her like get ready for the day. I'm like, what just happened? Like, sometimes it's nice to have something like completely off topic of what you usually do, because then it like helps people. It breaks everything up, so it's not all the same. Like, I literally got sucked in for like 15 or 20 minutes of just watching her talk to the thing about putting makeup on.
yeah. So there you go. There's
And-
It definitely works.
yeah.
And think about structuring your day like this. Like, you do your workout and maybe you have 8 stories max, right? That's 2 4 story segments. And then you go talk about something else throughout the day. Like, I do my workout, and then in the middle of the day, I'll talk about something at work, or I take a picture. Then after dinner, I'm talking about things that happen with the kids, or a random funny story, or just being stupid. Because I'm not like a dancer, like in my videos. You know, there's some people that's just their thing. That's not me. So when I'm acting like ridiculous, people are like, that's hilarious. Like, that's who you are. So
my attention again at one of your things of you dancing with the bod ropes. I even showed Jeanette. I'm like, did you see this? This was great. I loved it. And it,
Yes.
you know, clearly I watch you, but
I'm
that's
still
Right.
terrible at those bod ropes.
well, show it and talk about it, and
My
like
left hand is
have
terrible.
fun. But
exactly.
but yeah, like the stories are where I get a lot of people connecting with me and just saying, wow, I didn't know that about you, or I'm sorry you're going through that right now, and talking through it, or celebrating a success of some sort. Like, let them see that.
Mhm.
And just don't keep it, like Tim said, don't go on and on and on, because I do the same thing. If it's more than like 10 little story things at the top, I'm like, moving on to the next.
Yeah. So just try to keep it brief and to the point. You know, like, be funny, show your personality. Like, I'm a very closed up, awkward person in person, but I just find that I'm also still kind of getting over the fear of looking stupid in a video, and knowing that I've got a handful of people watching me, but I'm getting over that, because people are like, that was so funny, like you telling your impulsive story, like, I liked that. So it's like, try to just bring your personality out more in your stories, and use that to get their attention.
I feel like you've got a lot of good feedback about your goofy side. That's
Yes,
coming out.
people love my like goofy side. They like the bloopers that I post of
Like
like
even
me
the fitness
fighting with my
bloopers.
resistance band. So instead of me showing you this great workout with the resistance band, I just showed you literally me getting stuck in the resistance band, falling over, and laughing about it.
And that's real life. Like, that happens. Like, that's kidding.
Yeah, that's me, the klutzy fitness fanatic. Like, I
I
literally
can vouch for that. I've been
Right.
watching Tim do things for years. It's
Yep.
freaking hilarious.
Right, like, I hit my head on the weight when I was doing an ab workout. Instead of posting the perfect ab workout to show you, I showed you that one. They loved it. So it's like, just be silly, be real, and I that will pull that engagement in. And then even if you find that somebody has a beach body, I don't know if this is specifically, you know, a thing, but that doesn't mean that they're off limits. I will be honest, I've gotten probably about 4 to 5 people on Instagram tell me that they have a coach that's not involved and everything else. And then I just kind of was like, hey, that's great. I'll talk to them about certain things. And they'd be like, how's Muscle Burn, like MBF? What's that program? I'm like, yeah, it's like early release. If you know, whatever, you can buy VIP access to it. But like, if you're close to your coach, then like hit them up and talk to them about it. So I kind of like sometimes push people back to their own coach. And then they're like, well, my coach isn't really involved. And that's when I'm like, I'm not, but like, hey, I could
That's
be.
the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Like push them back, and if they say nope, then say, okay, you can switch to me. Shannon's done it. I've done that too.
Okay,
We always err.
Sweaty pits, like I'm like, that's off limits of Beachbody, and here I am bamboozling people. But like,
No, because you could just say, like you did, say, go talk to your coach. Like I always say, I don't want to step on their toes.
yes.
Go talk to your coach. But if you find you don't get the level of support you need to achieve your goals, let's talk, and we can change you if you'd like. So you're pushing back first, and then put the decision on them.
Yep, and it works. I even pretty much off the record like coached somebody, and like have been guiding him, and he's still not even my customer. But like to me, I'm not looking to make money off of Beachbody as my main drive. I'm looking to help people with their fitness goals. And if that means I'm literally coaching someone for free with the hope that he might come to me eventually and then whatever, so be it. But just because they have a coach doesn't mean they're off limits. And just show them why you're a better coach than their coach, especially on Instagram. There are I don't know about the female coaches on Instagram, but I know the male coaches on Instagram, they're crap. The only ones that I have seen, they have 7,000 followers. If you join their team, but you don't build up your own team, they basically kick you to the curb and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't want anything more than like, a small group. And I want to know my team. I want to know what program they're on. I want to be able to check in with them and know what they're doing. And they're like, so how many are on your team? And I'm like, it's not even that much. Like, I don't want a big team. And like, they love that. And that's what they're looking for. And they like the vulnerability. And they're like, my coach just is focused on being a blah, 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 and making all this money. And it's, but they like seeing the intimacy that I'm doing as a coach. And doesn't mean they're off limits if they have a coach. I've gotten dumb luck with people transfer to me, and then next thing you know it, they're purchasing things, and hey, I am making a buck off of it. But the main goal is clearly to be there for them and help them. So that's something too that I kind of have found. Just don't drop them because they have
Related
a coach.
question. I don't know don't take this the wrong way, but how come none of the guys really post a whole lot in Better Together? Are you in that group?
Tim's not in that. He's in Shannon's group.
Shannon's group? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember how it broke up, so I was thinking, because I keep seeing your posts on Instagram, but we're not. I don't think we're friends on Facebook. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
And just something to remember and this is, I need to do it. I've been dragging my feet because I'm lazy. When you open the business, or when you switch to a business account on IG, your stories don't go to Facebook automatically. So you can save them and then push them. I have a lot of people that follow my stories on Facebook. I've just been lazy. So I said, after I get back from vacation, I'm doing that because the insights are important and they really help you understand what content does well. So then you can play with it and you can tweak the message. You can take that same message and just change the picture, like a month later, because people don't remember that stuff. And it just gives you an insider look at how you're really doing, because you can say, I'm doing all these great things, and then it's the results aren't there. I wish Facebook had it. Like if you have a business page, which I do, but I don't have anything running on it because it just was sucking my time, it would push there.
Right.
But
you have to have a business
personal
Facebook account to link them.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, but I mean, I personally don't use Facebook. I'm trying to use it a little bit more, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of
Instagram's where it's at.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. If I think of other things, I'll maybe post it in the group if that's okay, Marcy. But
yeah, as you had wins, anybody, as you have wins, celebrate them in the group and say, hey, I got like even if it's like I got like 3 conversations or I got a new follower, like that's a big deal, guys. Like
Mhm.
people are hesitant to follow because they get sold so much. So like, for example, for me, if a new follower, if I get a new follower, I just go and like some page, like their posts, and then I back off for like a week or so.
Mhm.
And then I may go say something else because I've gotten followed and then like pounced on. So
Yeah.
I like interact, I comment for like a week, and then I back off, and then I'll start a personal conversation with them. But just don't attack. Like,
Yeah. Like, don't throw it down their throat. I've had people that I've had conversations with for almost weeks and never have once mentioned Beachbody.
Yeah.
And then like when the moment was right, I started talking about it, or they brought it up to me. And because I just don't, I can't stand the people that like come right into my DM and they're like, hey, do you like my artwork? Do you want a painting of yourself? I'm like, no, like that's not like, back off. But so with followers, I don't know how like serious then you guys would be, but I have an app right here called Reports, and it shows me all of my followers, of my new followers, and then followers that drop me, because it's very common also to get people to follow you. They spark an interest on your page, you follow them back, and then a week later they drop you because now they've got you as a follower, but they don't want to follow you. So this is a free app. It runs once every 24 hours. And, oh, I already did it. So what I then do is I'll come up and look here on my list. And pretty much if anyone on here is someone that I don't want to follow, that they unfollowed me, well, I'm like, well, screw you, because I'm going to unfollow you back. Like, I'm not letting this kind of be, you know. So it's just called Reports, and it's free. I don't know what all that interactors, secret admirers, and all that other stuff is. You have to pay for all of that, but the actual new followers and things like that, so you can kind of then see who's following you, and then you can either follow them back or you can just leave it be. So that could be another thing to kind of help kind of monitor who's following you and, you know, wasting your time, so to say.
that's super cool. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, it's just called Reports, and it's the free app. So, well,
Sweet.
the free version of it is all you need. So, and that's about
And
it.
that's a good tool, guys. If you're looking to do connections, you could go through your list. Like you could just start at the top of the list and connect with 10 people
Mhm.
a day. Like, comment, message maybe if you've been talking to them, and say, yep, I did my connections for the day, and then move to the next group.
Because sometimes, like, I know I personally sometimes kind of get lost in the notifications sometimes of Instagram, and I don't always see everybody that might have followed me, but it's all right there. And then it can kind of help me decide if I want engagement or not. So
Awesome.
I have notes that I took for this. So if you are fine with it, Marcy, I'll post this actually you're the Team Health, yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
I will just
please
post it
share.
on there, and then that way it's just kind of quicker reference for you guys than going back at the video. But so
What questions do you guys have for Tim? Any?
Yeah, do you have any questions?
I had a question, but I figured it out while you were talking. So never mind.
What was
You
it?
can always- yeah.
So when you do I forget what it's called. Hold on, I'll be able to tell you. The thing that's under here,
Highlights?
is that what it's called? Highlights?
Mhm.
I didn't know how to add if you already did it. Like I did it and then I thought I
Oh.
could add stuff to it later.
Okay.
But I figured that out.
So here's another fun feature. It's called Archive. So if you come over to the settings in the upper right corner, Archive, it has all of your posts and stories.
Huh.
So you can then go back. These are all the stories that I've posted.
Wow. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't
Yep. So I like tall socks that Jeanette hates. So if I come there to the highlight on the bottom there, oops. So I can then add it to me. And now it just got added. So you can then go back and look, I like chocolate animal crackers. So I'm going to add this to me. So you can also do it with, oh, for example, sorry for the thirsty picture, but technically this guy and I exchanged shout outs and I got followers from him. And he got followers from me too. But
I mean, thirsty, sorry.
yep, thirsty is my favorite term to describe my followers because sadly that's
You
what they
get
are.
some.
And then you can even go to your actual post. So if you notice the common theme here, I've removed all of this from my page, but I still have it for myself because this is my family, my kids, like the life that I don't want my thirsty followers to see.
Mhm.
So you can archive posts, but it does not delete them off your Instagram. It's still like the actual thing.
Gotcha.
So that's another way to do it. Let me show you here.
Do they automatically get archived, or do you have to actually archive them?
You do it yourself. So if you come here and then go to the 3 dots, you can archive. And then it will technically remove it from your page, but it doesn't remove it from your account.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and you really don't want to like.
so technically it's gone, but I can put it back on if I decide to.
Yeah, don't like if you have
See?
old bad posts, don't delete them. Like, you know, like he hid his family as, and that's what he, you know, that's his choice and that's what he
Right.
wants to do. But like if you just have like weird fitness posts that you're like, no, leave them there, right?
Mhm.
Because they helped you get to where you are, and just look back on them back in the day and be like, wow, look how far I've come.
Right.
And something to also think about, and you can buy these. I bought a set of presets from Chic Influencer. It's just, and it's the aesthetic of your newsfeed or your whatever, the grid, right? You want bright, beautiful pictures, and they don't have to necessarily be related exactly to the message, but prop your phone up, we talked about it, get the tripod, get the clicker, find the light, go to the window, find your good light, and then get a set of presets. I think I paid like $15 and they just give your picture life. Like if it's dark, it'll brighten it and you can play with it. And it just gives you like people are scrolling Instagram looking for pretty pictures.
Yeah.
You know, or intriguing pictures. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing your content. Do they all have to look like that? No, but I put a filter pretty much on everything just to brighten it, especially if my home, like if I'm talking about my workout at home, I need to redo the whole lighting in the house. Isn't going to happen right now. So I just put a filter on it just to brighten it up a little bit, to bring it up so people are like, oh, wow, let me stop and look at that.
Mhm.
You don't have to go crazy, and you can use like Canva is a great free online tool that I use for all of like our recognition graphics. And I think I can share, I need to look that up. If you guys have a Canva account, I think I can share mine so you can pick up graphics to share for your team. But it's just a way to make things stand out a little bit more. Your stories, they can be dirty and gritty because it's real life and it's happening in the moment. Like I don't go through and like, oh, I need to put like a pretty filter on this. Like only thing I do is edit my workout videos to 15-second clips. That's all I do there. All the other stuff, it's like kids are yelling and screaming. There's shit all behind me in my kitchen because my kitchen's always a mess, but that's my life.
Yeah.
So those don't have to be pretty. Think of, and what I said last week, like your grid is the cover of the magazine. What makes you stop at the newsstand or at an office and pick it up? It's the beautiful imagery on the front. When you open the pages, that's where the stories are. That's where the sales happen. That's your IG story. That's where you can be a little bit more direct and say, hey, you need to join me. I have $20 off, or we're having a sale, $160 gives you all this, because it's personal. And they
Mhm.
know that you're going to sell them a little bit more there. So keep that in mind. The same, but a little bit separate.
Yeah. The last thing I'll show you real quick is how you can quickly add to your highlights, like if it's a live picture. So if I were to post this on my story, so when you hit send to, you can then go to, well, now this is awkward. There should be an option that when you go to send to, it should show your highlights. Wait, yeah, so
Yeah.
your story and then add to highlights.
Oh, okay.
And then you
I
can
see.
go right to and add that to your highlight live, like as you're posting it. So you don't have to go back and then add it. So if you just do it that way, you can share it to your highlights right away. So that's a quick way to do it also.
Now on your highlights, do you have like a graphic image that sits on your grid, or do you just have like a picture?
So
You know how some have like workouts and they'll have like a dumbbell and
Right.
family and
yeah, so it's technically the very first picture that you post in there.
Change that though.
But yeah, you can edit the cover. Ooh,
Okay.
so there you go. See? So yeah, you can technically edit the cover.
okay.
And then, like I said, whichever one you posted to most recently pulls up to the front. But yeah,
Okay.
so use those. I kind of feel like that's a very useful tool for me. Especially because when people are like looking through my profile and they're kind of like wanting to see more, then they look through this and then they find even more about me because I'm more comfortable doing things on my stories. I'm more impulsive. I'm going to post those animal crackers on my stories, but I'm not going to make a post about animal crackers and being like, treat yourself every now and then, you know? So it's a way to pull them in to learn more about you and build trust and rapport and understand who you are a little bit more. And ultimately I find that's a huge help for me of like people trust me. They like me. They think I'm funny, I'm goofy, I'm trustworthy, and that helps them feel like they can commit to spending $99 for a year on something that they don't know if will help them, you know?
Right.
So use those features on there with the highlights. It definitely helps.
And the more features you use, the more opportunities you get to be seen on explore pages or anywhere. IG rewards those that use the stuff.
Yeah. I like
So
it.
definitely use it. And think about it, like literally sit down and think about what else do I do in my life? Like Anna, maybe you're a chef. Cook some things like and put that up there so people know, oh, she's a chef and she does this. If you make things, like if some of you are crafty or like hair braiding tutorials, if you're good at your hair and makeup, do stories on those and then put them in your highlights. So then people may, like Tim said, come to you for hair and then be like, oh, she also does fitness. So think of other things that are outside of your fitness life and put them as a highlight and just load things there.
You could
Like
find a
Sharon's
following in
playing
child-
with hair, like do a kid's tutorial on braiding hair. Like everybody needs to know how to do that.
Yeah. So if you come up with other questions as you're navigating through Instagram, you're welcome to message me. However you have me connected with you. So
yeah,
I'm happy to help you
That's
guys.
awesome. You did awesome.
Thank you.
You did
Hopefully it's
awesome.
really helpful because I ramble and I get
You did
random
perfect.
sometimes, go off topic and jump all around. So hopefully it was helpful and useful things to kind of build up your page more with kind of getting the people, because ultimately new followers equals new opportunities. And since I've been doing coaching, I think I've gotten maybe 400 followers.
Wow.
And that's only been in a couple months.
That's
And
awesome.
so
How much time do you spend a day trying to increase your following?
Do you want the sugar-coated answer? Now keep in mind, I'm only working 2.5 days a week right now.
Right.
So I'm barely part-time, but I don't really like sit in one setting. Like if I getting a lot of notifications of followers commenting, and then that might pull me in, but I don't know. I see Jeanette glaring at me, like waiting for my answer. So I have a lot of time on my hands. I'll put it that way. I'm able to have Instagram up on my computer while I'm working from home, and I'm able to devote a lot of time to it, to be honest. There's the actual pulling in followers and engaging with them is the time consuming part.
Yeah.
And
Well,
whereas
that's
the posting
where you
it
make your
takes
money.
me 10 minutes to pull in hashtags and posts and filters and funny content and witty captions. But I have a lot of time on my hands.
What would you recommend for Jeanette? What do you do? About how much time do you spend as a busy working mom?
Ugh, not enough. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I do not, like, I struggle with Instagram, which is the funniest part, that he rocks at it and I struggle with it. But, and it's really hard too, because my perspective of Instagram has been really blurred, I would say, in the last month, because I've been so busy at work that I have been incredibly disconnected from social media altogether. I think my problem too, though, is that when it comes to like Instagram, I try to do like the tips and tricks that I know that he's told me before about doing, and like you guys have said before. And then my fear is like, I don't know, like let's say I'm using, what's one of the most recent ones I did was like my autumn book came in today, and one of my hashtags was like books of Instagram or something along that lines or something. I think my thing is, if I go to a hashtag and I try to start following, like trying to find people to follow, my problem is figuring out who is worthy of following. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
is the person that I'm selecting a good choice to select? And for me personally too, like I'm very much so of, I think the only time I really get like for Instagram is at night once the kids go to bed. And at that point, Tim and I are sometimes kind of like watching our shows, and then we're kind of going to bed. And I'll be honest, like I don't really play a ton on my phone. I feel like at bedtime, it's maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's like my unwind time, and that's kind of it. My other thing is too, I get sucked in the rabbit hole of Instagram, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? What's that? And
It has to be work time.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I don't necessarily always, sometimes a shiny object flies by and then I get sucked, and I'm like, I'm deviating away from what I'm trying to go in for initially. So
can I say one thing to you that's kind of not, it's just kind of tough love?
yeah, of course.
You can't make the decision if someone, like for following, follow them. And if they follow you back, you can't make the decision for them that what we have to offer is not for them.
Yeah.
Right? Just follow. If they look like, if any interest, their mom, or if they have something, just follow. And if they don't follow you back, then you can go, like Tim said, go in later, a week or two later, and unfollow them. But I think we all do that. I know I'm guilty of that. I look at people's pages and I'm like, there's no way they would want to do what I'm doing, but I'm making a decision for them without even giving them a chance to get to know me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we want to protect ourselves and our ego.
Right.
So you got to talk to everyone about it, tell everyone about it, because you never know. The people that I have on my team, I never thought would ever do this. And then here they are. So just keep that in mind.
Another thing that you can do is you can mute people. That's another feature. So let's just say this guy here. I don't really want to see his stuff anymore, even though it's a pretty landscape.
Oh,
So
good.
you can then come in here under the dots there of their profile, and it's not working.
So it's kind of like hide on Facebook when you hide their stuff.
Yeah. So
You can mute someone on Facebook too for like 30 days or whatever.
when you come over here to following, if you drop down, you can mute and turn off their posts and their stories. So now you're following them, they're following you, but hey, it's a dirty game out there. Now you don't see any of their stuff, but they're still seeing yours unless they mute you first.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. If you find a follower that you're like, okay, this could work out, but then it's like, I don't know, I don't really care about their books, but I want them to care about me, then you can just mute them.
Just curious, does anyone know who that is, Garrett? Any Bachelor or Bachelorette fans?
Is he from The Bachelor?
on The Bachelorette.
I have no idea how I got that.
Sure,
But
Tim.
maybe because he has 697,000 followers. And I want to shout
Sorry
out.
to
Funny.
call you out, Tim. No judgment if you watch The
I
Bachelor.
love The Bachelor. Jeanette and I watch it all the time.
Oh, good.
Don't get me started on reality shows.
Oh yeah, I can. That's a rabbit hole for me. Like reality shows or like my TV shows, like on Instagram, especially if I search and like click on like. So for instance, I'm like obsessed with One Tree Hill. I know it's not a reality show, but I would like click on a picture. The next thing I know, I'm looking at all these posts for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I need to go to bed, or like, okay, I need to get back to work.
Yeah. So just be careful of those rabbit holes. But you can once you get the flow of it, you can make a lot of progress, and you can just blow through Instagram and find 5 new people in 3 minutes.
I think that's my trouble, is like finding my flow.
It took
like,
me a long time to
started.
figure this out. And then once I did, I can navigate through and be done in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set 10 minutes, like literally set your phone
Yeah.
timer and be
10,
like,
15
this
minutes.
is work time to go follow, connect, and then get out. And then if you want to go just scrolling, then do it. But like, I know for me, if I set a timer, I'm more like, oh shit. And I'm very ADD when it comes to just work. Like even like in real life, like I'll see it, I'm like, oh, I need to do this, and I'll go here. So I have to like set timers, like you're going to set for 10 minutes and you're going to do this first. You're going to get it all the way done. Then you're going to move to the next. So timers help.
Mm-hmm. And being that I only work like 2.5 days per week, if you want to pay me per session to run your Instagram,
Yes.
I'll do it for you.
Hey,
But
you never know.
there you go. I'll do another side hustle outside
You
of
should. There's a lot of people out there that need help. You should become a virtual assistant.
I've gotten people that follow me, and I talked to this one guy for probably a good like hour after he gave me a shout out, and then he's like, I run the doctor's account that I'm on right now. Like he's too busy. And I'm like, well, I wish I knew that in the first place, because I thought I was talking to you. I'm not. So I will be that person if you want me to, but I'll have to learn how to get female followers. I only know how to get male followers.
Hey, we need to grow the male population in Beachbody. There's a lot of opportunity for men. And like you said, the top ones, like a Scotty Hobbs, he has a lot of people. And then Jamie Fitzpatrick. And there's some more, but there's not a lot. So there's not the opportunity. The opportunity is in shared authentic. I mean, it's like a pure business for them, I think. But when you authentically care about people, it's different. Like Pat 90X genuinely cares about his people. So you can see the difference in the male kind of dominance in Beachbody. There's not a lot of them, and they usually run them with their wives, but it's okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much.
We'll have Tim as a top coach here soon.
Oh, yeah, right.
Never know. Never know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. This was amazing.
Tim,
I
thank you so
appreciate it. And please post whatever you have. Like, we would love to have it in the group. And we'll have this recording. Hopefully it sticks, because I think it is. It says it's a recording.
Yeah.
And then for new coaches, maybe we come up, Tim and I, maybe I'll get with you offline. We could do like a 15-minute quick video of you for new coaches as we build like this new coach module thing out, that they could just get started with. We could do very basic training for them.
No, they can't see your screen.
Is everybody good? Real quick roll call. I know, Jeanette, you have points on the board, right? Success Club?
Yes.
Good. Tim's got, do you have Success Club? Do you hit 6?
Yes.
Was it 8, I think?
I'm at 8. Mm-hmm.
Krista had a new coach, and you've got points on the board.
Yeah.
Sharon, I know you're working. Keep pushing, girl. Keep pushing. Work with Jeanette and Shannon, and they'll help push you through. Who else is on here? Anna, you're working. I know you're pushing. Lauren's going good. We have a shiny new emerald tomorrow with Sam. She'll have the Success Club, I think, by the end of the month.
By the end of this week, yeah.
Nice. Yay.
There's Shannon, just her hand. Shannon's got Success Club 18,000.
Yeah, and with
Which is good.
a million Success Club points.
So if you're on a team cup and you've hit Success Club, you get your MDF tank top. I know Lee's got points, Michelle's got points, Sonia, one of my new coaches, has her first challenge pack sales. I need to call her out. We're doing good, guys. And look, it's not easy. You have to show up every single day. There's going to be days that you want to quit. I want to quit all the time, but then I remember like sitting on the beach with my family tonight. This trip wouldn't have happened if I wasn't coaching. The extra $2,000, if you put it all together with travel, doesn't happen on my salary. So you have to have your why, and you have to have it sitting there right in front of you on those days that all the shit hits the fan and you're like, I'm out, because it's never going to get easy. Even the top coaches never have it easy. You could have the best Instagram in the world, but if you're not giving your customers value and pouring into your customers and then your coaches, you go nowhere, right? You just have all these things, but you don't have the love and the passion anymore. So there might be a month you missed Success Club. So what? You failed. Get back up and figure out what you did wrong and go again the next time. It's just a trial and error business. And that's legitimately, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. Instagrams could change tomorrow, and everything Tim just showed us could go away. It could literally go away tomorrow. So you just have to keep trying and trying and trying and trying. And I hope that you all know that you have so many people to reach out to when you want to quit. You know me, I'm just going to tell you like it is. Maybe talk to someone else that's a little bit more compassionate and might say, it's okay.
Welcome here.
You know, like we have such a good dynamic team. Go to the people that are going to help you feel the best. Because I know I'm pretty tough. Shannon's tougher than I am. So, you know, I don't want to say it is what it is, because I don't like that word and that phrase anymore, but it is what it is. And one thing, just can I say it? Politics, don't put them on social as you're building a business. Just being completely honest, you're going to create some separation real quick. Yeah. And it's just,
gosh, they love that.
Have your
Alcohol
beliefs.
and food. There you go.
What were you going to say?
I said alcohol and food, great topic.
Yes.
Don't do politics.
It just creates chaos. And you know, we all don't need that in 2020. Like, I know, go vote. Stand true to what you believe and who you support, but maybe just don't make it a fight on social, because people are looking for that fight and they're going to come down hard on you.
And it really doesn't
it's not even
change anybody's mind, I feel like.
No,
What's
it
that?
doesn't. When you tell your opinion, it doesn't change anyone else's mind. Or
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, can someone do a boomerang that has like the full screen? Because I'm on my phone and I don't have everybody.
Yeah, I'm on my phone too.
I'm on an iPad.
Tim can do it, can't you?
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
On Tim.
Here, I'll put it on my Instagram.
take
Follow
a-
me.
Put it in your
Tag
story.
Yeah, tag
Tag
all
me.
of us in your
Tag us.
stories.
Watch, we'll hide our tags though, guys.
Yeah, I'll hide your tags.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Under
want
his
to
face.
people to your pages. Only mine.
You said to hide the hashtags instead.
Shannon's the only lucky one that's been getting shout outs recently from Tim.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know, I'm getting all kinds
Tim,
of
I saw you take a drink
Gotta
earlier. I
tell
was
that
like,
story.
he didn't take a drink.
Oh my gosh.
Totally make
For the
the channel.
record, hey, for
Those
the
were the
record,
best.
I really am taking a drink. I swear.
I
Bullshit.
watched
That's not a drink.
Bullshit. That's a lie.
Shannon,
I
I watched
am
your story
drinking.
like 4 times
There's
because I
no
wanted
way
to know
that
if
you
you
can
really
sit there and
did
go
it.
like this and then keep talking right afterwards, Shannon.
I
You got
can.
five girls. You're just trying to
Witness.
Show that bottle.
Witness.
Watch your
Fill
mouth,
that
Tim.
MDF
She
bottle.
swallowed it.
Thank you, Krista.
I watched it like 4 times because I was like, what is he talking about?
I did too.
It's funny,
I was like,
see
she's
Michael
definitely
taking
every
a
day.
drink, but I never see it fully like go down. I was like, I don't think she did.
Just go straight down. Every day I get a message about this.
That is
One day she's
awesome.
going
go.
to choke
Do your
on
thing.
it. We're going to know.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's see. Let me get this.
All right. Tell us when you're ready.
So how do I do this? What do I do? Is your phone in
Really,
there?
how do you do it?
All right.
Boomerang.
All right. You ready? Go ahead. Start waving.
Mr. Social Media,
That's it. There you go. Got it.
Tim.
Yeah.
Wait. Post this up.
Right?
I'm totally calling you out.
Why? What?
Look,
What?
okay, I don't care. It's fine. Mr. Social Media.
What?
Do we need another one?
No, it's fine.
Oh, wait. No. In all seriousness, though, I do have to minimize because I have things on my screen.
Don't get fired.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
Just no, make it big.
Okay, there we go. I'll do it again. Sorry, guys. I suck at this thing. Hold on. You ready? Ready? Everybody, wait.
Krista.
Krista.
Oh, nope. Sorry, Krista. All right. I'm sorry. I literally cut off the whole one side. All right. This is why Marcy does it. I'm sorry. Last one, I promise it's good. All right. Got it.
Awesome.
Sorry, Tim, you had me going down the Instagram wormhole now, and I'm finding people and I'm
My bad.
following. I can't.
Crystal's
stop.
already got 10 new people to follow. But
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I should
Well,
mention
thank you.
something now that we're wrapping up.
It's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This is
Okay.
awesome.
So with the class that I'm taking, and Marcy, I know you're taking one too. So they've encouraged to, connect, follow a lot and stuff, and also unfollow people who are not. I feel like I'm yelling. Unfollow people who are not significant to you, like not going to help your business on, Instagram. So I, with the way my time is oriented sometimes, I just start to do a lot of stuff at once. And then I'm just like knocking out and I turn around, it's like 12 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I should go to bed. But the point is, you cannot follow or unfollow a combination of more than 200 people a day
Yes.
because you'll be blocked.
Shannon,
So-
I've been blocked for a week.
Yeah, I can still do my stories, but that's why I haven't posted on Instagram and like tagged my story and stuff because I can't like every day I've reported it and stuff and I'm like, I'm a real person.
Yeah, so
But-
you should keep it to a maximum of 20.
Yeah, they
an
said
hour.
20 an hour. So
No more
just
than
be
20 an hour.
careful.
Okay.
Just be careful because
They think you're a bot.
I was mainly
It is.
unfollowing people. And
She's got blocked for a week.
yeah, so I'll be back Friday.
So when it first happened,
You'll see my Instagram post on Friday instead of just Facebook.
yeah, when it first happened, she was like, "Oh man, I can't get in. Something's wrong with Instagram. I don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she just carried on doing what they were telling her not to do, not knowing that she wasn't.
No, I
actually doing
didn't.
it.
No, I couldn't do it.
All of a
but-
sudden, it's like this thing turns up and says, third-party apps are not allowed to follow.
Yeah, it thought I was an app.
Yeah. So basically, they just turned around and said, your account is blocked from doing this till August 21st.
Yeah, so Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep
Which
that in mind.
I'm like, I don't know. I was trying to unfollow people, So, oh well. What are you gonna do?
Good work. Well,
Yeah.
that's how you learn, right? You've learned and you've taught us. So now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanks for
Exactly.
doing it for us, Shannon, so we don't.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team. Yeah.
I
Sure.
don't think I'm anywhere near that danger, but it's good to know.
But it's not just 200. It's 20. They said it also said because I read about it, and it said 20 an hour, and that sounds like a lot. But if you are trying to unfollow people and follow people, that's not that
Yeah.
many, So I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
If I get blocked again, I'll let you know. But-
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you guys. I gotta
Thank
give
you,
my kids
Natalia.
baths. They're disgusting.
Yeah, good luck.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See ya.